we are in Turkey for Red Bull Sea to Sky. With young guns and legends aplenty, the question is, who will conquer the famous Mount Olympus and be crowned king? Blue skies, beaches, and bikes. Welcome back, Hard-Enduro fans, to Turkey. Located in the Kima province, the 7th edition of the Red Bull Sea to Sky will have the good times rolling. It's a 3-day race that not only offers stunning views, but challenging hard-enduro riding as well. A crop of young riders are all eager to take the crown, as well as a legend who has returned to show he still has something left in the tank. With the sun out and the riders ready, it's time to shine for Red Bull Sea to Sky. It's the day 1 beach race. Thousands of fans have come to enjoy some sun and hard-enduro fun. The top riders like Johnny Walker and Graham Jarvis are absent due to factory team decisions, but a strong group of athletes including Wade Young, Billy Bolt, and the father-son team of Andreas and Manuel Lettenbichler are all here for a chance at the trophy. The top 50 qualifiers are waiting for the Le Mans-style start, the nerves wound tight. Launched into action, it's Andreas Lettenbichler who takes the whole shot, spearheading the cavalry charge down the beach. It's right at the first oversized whoops where the chaos unfolds. This is hard-enduro at its finest. To win the beach race, the riders must complete as many laps as they can in 15 minutes plus 1 additional lap. On board with Wade Young as we see Billy Bolt using his trial skills to pass the South African. And then, with Letty in his sights, Billy the Kid does the same thing, leaving the rock garden. With number 1 Wade Young on the slower line, charging on his KTM, Manuel Lettenbichler overtakes him as well. The finishing order of the beach race will determine the starting order for the Day 2 forest race. Sherco factory rider number 1 Wade Young gets the inside corner on Manuel Lettenbichler and is having a better go at the rocks. With 6 minutes left in the race, up and down the oversized whoops, it's Bolt who is pulling away from the pack, putting over a minute between him and the next closest riders. The rookie is making it look easy, but bad luck strikes in lap 4 as Bolt snaps a chain, leaving him soaked and frustrated. His race is over. Enduro veteran Andreas Lettenbichler takes advantage and retakes the lead. But it's short-lived as Young sprays him for the pass. It all comes down to the last lap. Getting his revenge, Andreas Lettenbichler rips into the rock garden and catches up with Wade. Using his experience, the Bavarian legend muscles his way past Young. Manuel follows his father's lead and passes Wade, and then on the final rock garden, son passes father. Manuel Lettenbichler takes the flag with his dad Andreas right behind and Wade Young in third, only 6 seconds separating these top 3.
First place, yeah, it's just amazing. I never thought I would be maybe on the top of the podium, so it's just awesome.
The beach race is complete and they'll set off in this order for Day 2's forest race. Now in its 7th year, Red Bull Sea to Sky is known as the most enjoyable race of the hard-enduro season. With 3 days of racing on 3 drastically different terrains, this race tests the caliber of riding styles for all the competitors.
here at Red Bull Sea to Sky. We're at the ocean, yeah, just chilling.
Sea to Sky has 3 different races with 3 different styles. On the first day is the beach race, riding in the sand, some high-speed turns, some nice jumps.
Mixing technical enduro course with some wide open parts.
At the beach, you can relax, then you go to the beach race, then relax again.
You gotta focus on the stones and not on the women in the bikinis. On the second day is the forest race. It's a 40-kilometer trek. Quite some hard-enduro riding, but still a level that most people can finish.
It's really tough and also physical for the body because the ground is so loose.
The last day is the mountain race.
We race up from the ocean up to the top of the mountain.
Last part of the race is a long gravel road with a lot of rocks.
2,300 meters up, it's a long way to go.
You can actually feel your whole way going up because the oxygen's getting thinner and you're battling to breathe, and your bike's also slowing down a bit, and the whole way up it just literally just gets harder and harder.
The body feels sore, you know, but you have to do it, and yeah, when you be in the finish, you're really, really happy.
It's day 2 on the beautiful Turkish Riviera. Time now to go from the beach to the forests. The 10 fastest times of today's time trial will set the starting row order for tomorrow's main event.
We're here for the start for the forest race, and I think the race is about 40 km, so maybe it will take 1.5, maybe 2 hours, so I'm pretty excited. I will starting off first in front of my dad and wait. We will see how is it going.
So strategy just flat out from start to finish, minimize mistakes and try to get on that front row for tomorrow.
Setting off first, Manny Lettenbichler has the difficult task of laying fresh tracks for the first trail on the forest course. With Andreas starting 1 minute behind in second and Wade Young in third, let's see who can put down the best time of the day 2 race. In the early goings, number 3, Manny is setting a fast pace through the stunning Turkish timbers. As for his father, he's following in his tracks. But Sherco factory rider Wade Young is on the hunt. Riding a fast and flawless morning, Young politely passes Letty and then sets his sights on the leader. As for the other top riders, number 9 Lars Enukkel is building on a solid beach race performance and is tearing through the trails like he's in his native Austrian Alps. Recovering from a beach race breakdown, number 5 Billy Bolt is showing off his trial skills and is putting down one of the fastest times of the day. As for the leader, number 3 Manuel has company. With little room to maneuver in the narrow wooded single trails, Young waits until a wide beach opening to make his move. Both riders are flat out, but it's Young who takes the inside corner and charges onwards into the lead. Back at the sea, the South African takes best time at a scorching hour and 30 minutes.
The forest ride went pretty good for me. I managed to catch up some good time on Letty and Manny. I didn't have the best of rhythm, but I managed to still be fast. So yeah, I'm really happy. It's a good start for tomorrow. So hopefully I'm definitely on the front row, and I'll focus onto the main race.
As for the rest of the podium, Manny finishes 2 minutes behind Young, with Enukkel rounding out the top 3.
Yeah, it was actually quite good. Wade was flying today, so I had no chance. I'm super stoked to be now out there and just second into the finish.
Billy Bolt overjumps one of the last obstacles, incurring a 5-minute time penalty, and he has to push his bike across the finish line.
We had a bit of a miscommunication of signals. A couple of the team were sort of signalling while I interpreted to wind it on a bit, so I wound it on a bit and I went quite long by about 3 times the distance, so landed a little bit heavy, but we'll be alright. Bit stiff, but we'll get iced up and we'll be alright to go tomorrow.
With the forest race complete, the 22 rows of 10 are set for tomorrow's mountain race. While the battle wraps up on course, earlier in the week a different race took place. It's a good old-fashioned tire change challenge. Rules are simple: tire on, tire off, tire on. Fastest time wins.
What's up, everyone? We're here at the tire changing contest with me, Blake and Manny, and the fastest time wins, and yeah, let's give it a bash.
Not so bad, huh?
He got 1 second slower than me, and Manny's up next, so let's see if he can crack 140.
So I get first place at the tire contest. He got second and he third, and maybe I will also do it in the next 3 races.
It's the Day 3 mountain race, a 68-kilometer track that will test skill and resolve. 22 rows of 10 riders are lined up for the start.
It's the final day of Red Bull Sea to Sky, and it's a mountain race. A little bit nervous, but looking forward to it. I think it's going to be quite a tough battle out front. Not going to underestimate anyone, just going to give it a good race, and then yeah, just keep it smooth and safe and try and minimize the mistakes and bring it to the top.
Will be tough, and also physical, I think. They have a good track, so we will see what happens. We have a lot of good riders here, like Billy and Wade, and also my dad, and the South African guys are really strong, so I will try my best to be in the front and see what happens.
The front row gears themselves up for the epic battle to come. With the flag drop, Andreas Lettenbichler roars off to take the whole shot, proving once again when it comes to starts, the veteran still has some pep in his step. Down the beach, it's a flat-out sprint with Letty leading the pack from sea to the sky. The rows set off every 2 minutes, 219 riders filling up the course. In the first turn from the beach to the mountain, Letty holds the lead, but it's not long before the dry riverbed claims its first victims. Yesterday's forest winner Wade Young doesn't see a rock in the dust and goes over the handlebars. The Sea to Sky favorite fractured his elbow and is out. With Enochel and the others passing by, it's a bitter pill to swallow for the South African.
Go on, go on.
Hey! Are you okay?
Call the ambulance.
Sizin orada karşıdayız. Ambulans çabuk.
Billy Bolt also has trouble picking a line and has a rough crash, re-aggravating his shoulder from yesterday.
All right, all good.
Only a few minutes in, the course is already proving itself formidable.
Yeah, the race has just started and we already got a call from the rescue units that Wade Young had a crash in the riverbed and he injured his arm. And also Billy Bolt had problems in there. It's a challenging race. Hope the rest works better.
Now with the Lettenbichlers in the lead, they're continuing on towards the finish arch. If Hard-Enduro had a Hall of Fame, there's no doubt this guy would be a lock for a bust. Coming out of retirement for Sea to Sky, we sit down and chat with the first family of Hard-Enduro, Andreas and Manny Lettenbichler.
I have my bike here, I do some training with the hobbies, so I decide, okay, free entry, I do the race.
Yeah, I will be racing this year also against my dad.
It's really special to race with Manuel. We did it the last couple of years at the Red Bull Sea to Sky two times at Erzberg, and now he grew up and he's really strong, and I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, it's helping me a lot that I have my dad with me because he has so much experience now and he's now 10 years in the sport, so he knows everything and it's just perfect to me.
Now my job is to be a mentor, a mechanic and a father, and I love it to go with him to the races and support him with tips, with bike settings and everything, and that's my job now, and I'm happy with it.
He is actually mentally strong and also physically.
I think I'm fit enough to see the finish line. We will see what happens.
If we are together on the top of the mountain, I will win. Yeah, for sure.
It would be a really, really cool thing to be on the podium with Manuel.
Back to the race action, and the riders head into the canyon section where technical skill and bike control are the name of the game. Overtaking his father, it's Manny who is blazing the trail now. Austria's Lars Enekel is keeping pace as well, in addition to South Africa's Scott Bouverie. With the beautiful canyons rising up around them, Manny is looking determined to take his first Hard-Enduro podium. But at the refuel station, Manny uses some extra time. Letty decides to skip the refuel while Enekel and Bouverie move through faster and overtake the young German. The hunt between this four-pack is on. Enekel is closing in. Making the pass on Lettenbichler, Enekel jumps into first with Bouverie and Manny fighting for third. Number 14, Bouverie, sneaks ahead of Letty, and with Enekel stuck in a tree root, the South African takes first, only to lose it seconds later. As the three climb higher into the mist, meters are all that separate first and third. Also having a solid ride in fifth is South Africa's Dwayne Kleinhans. Snaking their way through the tight wooded trails, Enekel goes down, allowing Bouverie, Letty, and then Manny to pass. Manny then overtakes Letty in the trees, and the father-son team form a hunting pack once again, with Enekel bringing up the rear. Emerging from the tunnel, Bouverie is trailblazing deeper in the mountain. There is almost no separation of the top four. Anything can happen now. With all of them looking for their first Hard-Enduro title, the stakes are only getting higher. Gliding through the course, Manny takes the straight line and gets in front of Bouverie, as does his father only minutes later. On the insanely technical rock sections, Manny is keeping speed, but the 42-year-old Letty is struggling and goes down. This allows Enochel and Bouverie to pass. Suffering from exhaustion and stomach cramps, Manny gives up the lead to Enochel and falls back into fourth place. For the Austrian, superb riding has him extending his lead. It might just be his day. In the dark canyons, the last section before the final ascent, a torn and fatigued Letty and Bouverie are jockeying for position. In third place, Bouverie, the South African, now setting Andreas Lettenbichler in his sights for the final battle. With the wind picking up at the higher elevations, the Austrian is clawing his way up the rocky valley known as Alcatraz. But it seems he's right at home in the mountains. In the fight for second, Andreas and Bouverie are neck and neck. With over 3 hours of taxing riding and less oxygen available at the higher altitudes, fatigue is starting to take its toll. The same can be said for the other riders as well, like fifth place Kleinhans, who needs to take a quick break before soldiering on. With the crowd anxiously awaiting at the top, Enochel is the first to the final hill climb. Raising into the clouds, the Austrian is nearing the end of this mythic journey. With the top of Mount Olympus in sight, the victory is his for the taking. To the cheers of an excited crowd, an exhausted and triumphant Enochel crosses the finish line for his first Hard-Enduro victory.
Just amazing. Today was the day. Yeah, all my hard work pays off now today. I'm so happy, can't tell anyone. So made nearly no mistakes, and yeah, it was just a perfect day. I'm so happy, can't tell anyone.
Approaching the final hill climb, the battle for second all comes down to this. Letty is holding on to a tight lead, but just like in 2014, when he passed Wade Young for third, at the same exact spot, Letty knows it's not over till it's over. Fighting off exhaustion, Letty uses his trials experience to pick his way up the last few boulders and storms towards the Red Bull Arch. The German legend crosses the finish for the second place, only 14 seconds ahead of Bouverie. With just under 4 hours of riding, relief and joy are clear to see.
I pushed as hard as I can, but you know, the young guns, they were so strong. After a while, overtook one by one, and at the end, second in the finish, you know, for old man, good job.
I'm so happy to be here. We pushed so hard, the three of us today, and at one point, I didn't even know if the podium was possible, and then I caught Letty right here, and I just couldn't get past him in the dust, and we battled like right to the end. It was a crazy finish. I'm stoked I'm on the podium. It's really awesome. I mean, I couldn't be happier.
With only 25 riders reaching the top, Mount Olympus proved a formidable foe. Enochel takes the well-deserved Red Bull Sea to Sky trophy, Andreas Lettenbichler comes out of retirement to take second, and Scott Bouverie gets his first Hard-Enduro Series podium in third. For the official results, Lars Enochel claims his first Hard-Enduro Series win of his career. In the official world rankings, Graham Jarvis keeps his lead as world number 1, but Lars Enochel jumps into 5th with Scott Bouverie close behind in 6th. With 5 out of 6 races complete, the battle for the overall title comes down to the roof of Africa. I'm Troy Mannering reminding you to stay safe and keep the rubber side down.